All right, so one guy is asking, and how do you get this level that is a continuation level, not a level? All right, so let me explain to you. Okay, so you can see that what's this candle over here, right? You can see it did something significant. Okay, when I thought of when I say something significant, simply mean you can see that what this candle over here, it broke this level, right? I see this candle, it's close what? It broke this support over here and close what? Bearish below it. Okay, so it is something what? Significant. You understand? That's why what? Its gap level becomes what's important. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so now let's continue if your question has been answered. All right, so it's still not clear to you, okay? So what I mean is you can see that this bearish candle over here, you can see after this candle rejected this support over here, we had this price over here, right? Which broke and closed what? Below the support over here. So it made this what? Important. Okay, you can see the same example that happened over here. You can see this is the candle that also what? Broke this level here. You can see this candle or this gap level, it broke this support over here, right? So what happened? You can see price later on came back to use the gap level. You can see the same thing over here, right? There's also what? It broke this level over here, right? It broke two supports. You can see first one, second one also over here. It closed what? Below them. So if you guys remind me maybe after this, how to cut loss quick, how to know when to close a position, and other stuff too. I'll teach you guys that one. Where did the candle come from? What level did it reject? And that's what I've explained to you. Okay. You can see this candle over here. This was a continuation candle, right? And it did something what significant. If price breaks a level that's not fresh, can it still be considered? Yeah, of course. It can be used. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Yeah. So let's continue. So we have some rules for storyline. Okay. Rule number one is price goes from fresh to fresh. So always what look for fresh levels. Okay. Fresh resistance to fresh support, from fresh support to fresh resistance. So that's the rules of what of trend of storyline. All right. Now you guys understand how many times we can use a level, right? From the weekly time frame, we can use 3 to 4 times. From H4 and H1, we can use it 2 times. Okay, 2 times. Okay. So let's quickly go over this over here, or this one. So first, let's start. I said when we have this. So weekly rejects weekly, we need what? A daily breakout. Okay. So you can see we have price rejecting this weekly over here. Then on the daily time frame, what do you see? You can see we have this breakout over here. You can see this bearish candle. What do you see? You can see price what? Broke what? This support over here, right? So after we have this breakouts, what do we look for? We look for what? Pullback, and then we look for entry. You understand? We look for what? Pullback and entry. After a breakout, we look for pullback and then our entry over here. So let's look for more. Now let's move to the weekly again. Let's extend it to this ones that we have here. Now we can still see we have weekly rejecting weekly. And on the daily time frame, what do we see? We see this daily breakouts over here. Okay, we see daily breakouts over here. You can see this bearish candle. It's closed below, or it broke this support over here. So what do we wait for? Wait for pullback and then entry. Okay, so when you see this, you know that a storyline has begun. Weekly rejecting weekly, daily breakout. We wait for a pullback on the daily time frame or 4-hour time frame. Okay, we call this decisional levels, right? Decisional breakout, or you can simply use traditional SNR, where we use one candle to determine a breakout. Okay, you don't need a lot of candles or movement to determine whether price has broken out or not. You need only one candle to determine that. Okay, so over here we have we have this breakout over here, then pullback and entry. Okay, so over here on the daily time frame, so what do you see? You can see we have this daily rejecting daily. Okay, one thing about storyline is in every storyline there is another storyline. Okay, I think there's a lot of people don't know. In a weekly storyline, there's a daily storyline, and in a daily storyline, there is H4 storyline. You understand? So when you are able to break down this time frame storylines, then you'll be able to know which trade to hold as swing and which trade to hold as intraday. Are you getting it? Yeah. So you can see that this a weekly storyline that we are in, right? This is a weekly storyline, but on this daily time frame, what do you see? You can also see that we have daily rejecting daily over here. We have daily rejecting daily, and on H4 or even on this same daily time frame, you can see we have we have a breakout over here. So after a breakout, what do you wait for? Wait for a pullback and then entry. Okay, so if you can make your entry from this daily time frame, then you can just move to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and you can make your entry. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, we can see we have we have this left shoulder over here. Okay, we have this left shoulder over here, which price came to mitigate, and then it starts to drop. All right, so in a weekly bearish storyline, you can have a daily storyline as well. In a daily storyline, we can have H4 storyline. All right, so I'll read your charts, don't worry. Don't send me a direct message. Just send it to everyone to also read. Okay. If you're sending a direct message, I won't answer, because if I'm explaining it, others don't know the question behind it. You understand? So just make it, delete it and copy it, and make it for everyone. Okay, cool. So over here, all right, let's move to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have price breaking out, then we had this pullback, and you can make your entry based on your entry techniques. Okay, good. And let's continue. And now we have this pullback mitigating this daily time frame. Okay, and one secret to entry is when all the time frames agrees, right? That's where you take your entry or you make your entry. When the time frames agree, that's when you make an entry. So where the time frames agree, let's say over here, this is the daily this is our daily point of interest. But when we scale down to the 4-hour time frame, we still have what? We have a point of interest over there. You can see. So the daily time frame is corresponding or is agreeing with what? The H4 time frame. So this gives us what? Extra confluence to take this entry. You understand? Okay. So I'm explaining to you guys, in every time frame storyline, there is another what? Time frame storyline within that same time frame. That same storyline. Okay. So let's move to this level over here. All right. So let's assume we took this daily reject daily, right? We need H4 breakouts. Okay. Daily reject daily. We need H4 breakouts. So in the H4, you can see we have what? We have this breakout over here, right? So we have this breakout over here. So we start what? Start looking for a pullback, and we'll make our entry over here. Okay. So daily reject daily H4, we need a breakout, pullback, entry. Okay. Let's move to daily again. Let's simply move to yeah. Let's move to the weekly again. Okay. So we have this weekly position over here, right? We have this weekly entry over here, okay? Because we waited for weekly to reject weekly, though we have two ways of what? Entries, right? With the entries, we have two ways of entries. We have the aggressive entry. With that one, when prices approaching your levels, right? Your levels, and you have maybe a high time frame confluence, that's a trend line or other stuff, right? You can just minimize your risks, take that position, okay? Then when you have your confirmation of the storyline, then you can start with coming in with your bigger lot size, okay? And also every higher time frame level, you can refine that level, okay? In every higher time frame level, you can refine it so that you can make your entry. So we don't blindly make our or set our limit order here for price to come, because price is moving from a weekly to weekly, and we take our position up. We have to refine this level, okay? We have to refine it and see where possibly price is going to react from. Okay, good. So we have this cell over here. If you got this cell, because it's from a weekly storyline, we are not going to close it, okay, until the next weekly support. I get it. And we have this level over here, right? We have this weekly support fresh. This one is fresh. Okay, we have this fresh weekly support over here. You can see price came, mitigated this level, gave us this pullback, right? But what happened? Price drop. Now let me explain. Let me show you guys where this sell is coming from. Okay, where this sell is coming from. Okay, so we have what we call the gap levels. With the gap level, this is how I like to use mine. Okay, we have this bearish gap level. Okay, the idea of gap level is that price should mitigate the resistance and then continue to drop. Okay, what I prefer is if I'm looking for sell opportunities, prefer, so we have a bullish gap level. If I'm looking for sales, okay, prefer we have this bullish gap level where we have this support. Okay, we have this support. Then when price, the next candle open, when the next candle open, price comes to mitigate this, goes up. Okay, so we have this mitigation of this gap level, right? And with the gap rule, right, when price mitigates a gap level, it should what? Price should close above the gap level. Okay, it should close above it. If it close below it, then you should just close it. Okay, so we want to see price closing what's above this gap level. This is the gap level that we have. We want to see price closing what's above it. You can see price should reject this level and close above it. But if price would close below it, right? Price close below it, then you have to what? You have to be thinking to close your position or your entry. Okay. Okay. So that's basically what I want to see. I want to see this happen, right? Then price should what? Should fail. The second time when price is coming, price should fail and break out. Yeah, so there's a bearish candle. So when price breaks out, I would want to see what? A pullback of this same level, right? This same level. And then price drop. And there's a high what probability setup. Okay. This is a high probability setup. This is what I prefer. So you can what? You can draw the opposite of this. Okay, you can have the opposite of this. So you can see over here. What do you see? You can see we have this gap level here, which is the bullish candle, right? This one over here. And then what happened? We have price what? Breaking through, right? Price broke through. Multiple times we had price going back again. You can see this bullish candle came to use it again. Okay, this bullish candle came to use this level because we had price what breaking it and it becomes what fresh. When price break through it, it becomes fresh. Okay, then what happened? We had price what breaking through it again. You can see this candle over here. It's close what bearish below this gap level. So what happened? This happened. You can see price went up, mitigated this level, right? Because it's become what? A fresh level again. And then it starts to drop. So this is how come what price reacted from here. Because you might be thinking this is not a fresh level. You understand? All right, so you can add this to your now. Once we continue. All right, so those who are joining late, I'm not able to accept you guys in because it's kind of distracting. All right. So if you have any question based on the storyline basics, you can just ask me. When you have a body break, it becomes fresh again and therefore can be used again. And yeah. A high risk is actually when there's no breakouts on the lower time frame, but exactly. They should I consider rate rejection as high? Okay. And secondly, price breaks from a non-fresh level on one time frame, and that's also made started. Yeah, With a storyline, you can even use one candle, let's say 2 candles to determine the storyline. Okay. So let's say we have a good example. This is a nice example over here. Look at this level. You can see we have this support over here. What happened? We have price coming back to reject this. So over here you can see that we have a bullish daily storyline, right? So you have a daily bullish storyline starting from here, because we have daily rejecting daily, then onwards on 4-hour time frame we had exactly, on 4-hour time frame we had a breakout. You can see on 4-hour time frame we have a breakout over here. That's why price came back, mitigated this level, then it starts to go up again. So you don't need maybe you don't need many candles or price actions to determine your storyline. Okay. What if a lower time frame breaks out before price reaches the higher time frame level? No, we want to see that higher time frame level getting rejected before the lower time frame breakout. The weekly time frame, where is the bullish rejection coming from on those 2 candles before the drop? All right, so this one. Yeah, so actually this over here is coming from this weekly level over here. It's coming from this weekly. So you can see weekly rejects weekly. So let me break down this trade for you guys. Yeah, there's the weekly. So let me break it down. We have weekly rejecting weekly. So weekly rejects weekly. We need daily breakout, okay? And on a daily time frame, right? We can still if we don't have any breakout, okay? If you don't have any breakout on the daily time frame, though price is rejecting a weekly time frame, right? What you can do is this is the last decisional candle, last bullish decisional candle that led to this push up over here, right? So this level is the level that you'll be looking at as a breakout. So you can see on the daily we have this breakout over here. So I told you guys, after breakout, you look for you wait for pullback, then you can make your entry over here. Okay, so over here we have our breakout on the daily. You can look it's all depend on you, right? The time frame that you're able to spot your rejections, you can use it. If it's H1 storyline you want, for me I prefer a huge move. Okay, I prefer swing trade, so I rather be looking for weekly, daily, and weekly, daily. These two, right? These 2 time frames. Okay, so let me yeah, for virus. Well, let me quickly break down this. Then I'll read your comment and explain that one too. Okay. So what I'm saying is we have on the weekly time frame, we have weekly rejecting weekly, which is this one over here, right? So weekly rejecting this weekly over here, we need daily breakout. So on the daily time frame, you can see we have this daily breakout over here, right? We have this daily breakout over here. Okay. So if we have this daily breakout, what do? We look for a pullback, and we can make our entry. Okay. So we wait for pullback, then we can make our entry over here. You can see even if you come on the 4-hour time frame, we have multiple breakouts. And say breakouts, right? So you had multiple breakouts. So this is the reason why I sent this trade. I told you guys a new swing trade is about to happen. Okay, because I saw price rejecting the weekly time frame, and on the daily time frame we had this breakout over here, right? So you can see this the daily pullback that we had. Is the daily pullback that we had over here, okay, which we can refine or can look for this a daily zone on its own base of what zone market. This a daily zone on its own. Okay, so this is the zone that you refine. I'm not teaching guys zone market, okay, but this is our daily zone that we have over here, which we can refine to what the lower time frame. Okay, so on this daily zone, you can see that what price already came back to collect or mitigate this daily zone. Okay, and we had what we had a breakout on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so over here, this is going to be what a weekly storyline, right? But within this weekly storyline, we have what we have a daily storyline as well. Okay, so right now it's like we are breaking down the time frame storyline, right? We are breaking down a weekly time frame storyline. We are refining it to the daily time frame, right? But you have to get it at the back of your mind that what you are in what in a weekly what bearish storyline. So you are holding it from weekly to weekly. Okay. So we had this daily what's collecting from this daily what point of interest. So when price is coming back, we are not interested in this daily what daily zone again. We are only what coming to look at what the nearest or the recent what zone that led to the breakout. And this is the recent zone that led to the breakout over here. Okay, which is this level over here. Right. So we have what if H4 rejects H4, then we need what? Let's assume that you miss what you missed that H4 entry. Okay. So if H4 rejects H4, then we need 1 hour breakout. And you can see we have what this 1 hour breakout. So H4 rejects H4, 1 hour breakout, pullback, and our entry over here. So you can see this how you'll be able to break down what your higher time frame what storyline, okay, to make an entry on the lower time frame. Yeah, so we have times that weekly, let's say price rejects higher time frame, but there's no breakout. Okay, if price rejects, let's move to the weekly time frame. If price rejects a weekly time frame and you don't see any breakouts on the lower time frame, then why should you be holding that particular trade? Okay, that's a high risk, but high risk trade or entry for you. Okay, you just have to keep it objective. If you don't see this, then you are just folding, you are going to fold your hand and wait. Okay, you don't have to make it subjective. Your trading have to be objective. Okay. Mensa, I'm talking to you, Mensa, yeah. So we only want to see if weekly, if you see weekly rejecting weekly, then you want to scale down to the daily, look for what a daily breakout. Okay, look for a daily breakout, pull back, then entry. So weekly rejecting this over here. This was our weekly rejecting weekly. Then you can see we had this breakout, we had this breakout also. Right, we had this breakout. What do we expect next? We expect pullback, right? Which is this. And then we make an entry. Okay, so let's assume that was this entry over here. We missed this entry. Okay, let's assume we missed this entry. That's when this comes to play. We scale down or we refine this daily, reject daily. Okay, H4 breakout. Okay, reject this daily. So you can see this also what daily reject daily over here. Okay, or you can simply what use this over here. I said daily and weekly you can use their levels 3 to 4 times. Okay, so if you are using this candle level over here, gap level, we can see we have first, which is this one, reject this one also came, rejecting this one, and then this one also what still rejecting this one. If you don't want to use this fresh level over here, okay, if you don't want to use this fresh level over here, this a daily what level, so it can be tested 3 to 4 times. Are you getting it? Yeah, so we have what daily rejecting daily. Then you need to come to H4 and look for your breakout over there. Okay, and H4, what do you see? Can see we have this breakout. So we look for what a pullback and then we continue this, right? I hope this is clear. Yeah, you guys can back test it more. Okay. Yeah, so let's have some question and answers. Then maybe we'll have one last session where I'll break down my entries. Okay. Then we'll call it a day. Yeah. I think I'm not able to admit a lot of guys into it. Okay, Mark, why did you switch? I've already explained that. I'll upload it so that you watch it.
All right. Good evening.
Yeah.
So quickly, just a brief run. About when you say we're going to look for after a breakout, we are looking for a pullback, then we take our entry. So that this is for a sell, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how do we check for this breakout? Look for pullback and then take entry when it is coming for a buy. Is it the same, just the same technique, or
Exactly. It's
there is a
just the
difference?
same. It's just the same technique.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right. Thank you.
you can just use let me give you guys one example. So you can see we have this weekly rejecting weekly over here. Then on daily, yeah, on daily we had a breakout. Okay. And even let me mark it as well. Okay. So we have weekly rejecting this weekly over here, right? Then on daily time frame, we had price what's actually this started from what? Yeah, we had this was a daily bullish storyline instead of the weekly. That's why price actually came somewhere over here, right? So with the weekly, we just had a mitigation or rejection, and price was started to push up. Okay, but then if you look at the bigger picture of the price action, right? We have we have CMB, which is the current market structure, and then we have the major market structure or the main market structure. The current market structure is focusing solely on the current price action that you have, okay, without looking at your historical price actions, okay, without looking at this one. You understand? So on this example, since we had this weekly rejecting over here, you can see where the daily is. The daily is somewhere here. So we were already on a daily bullish storyline, right? Then the weekly over here is just a pullback to mitigate this, right? But after it went up, we had price coming back over here to retest it. But then price is already coming from the major structure sell zone. So there's no way there's weekly level over here is going to stop it from moving up. Okay, that's why you have to understand the difference between what the current market structure and the major trend. You first have to know the major direction. Okay, so what I do is I look for the trend from the monthly time frame. Okay, so on the monthly time frame, you can see we have what we have this support break turning into resistance over here, right? Support break turning into resistance over here. Oh God, what's the sell? You have support break turning into resistance. Price came back. What happened? It mitigated this or it rejected it on the weekly time frame. Yeah, so you can start your storyline depending on the time frame that you prioritize the most. The time frame that I prioritize the most is the weekly and the daily. I don't really check the monthly time frame. You understand? Yeah. Yeah, Mark, yeah, still you can ask. All right, any other question? Any other question? Is the other method of determining storyline easier to understand? Yeah, that one is very easy because that one is very easy. Well, it has nothing to do with daily, reject daily, or breakouts. Yeah, that one it has nothing to do with breakouts or rejections. Just something I came up to. But it's very easy. Like you guys know about it, but it's just that I don't know. Yeah, my stop loss, the maximum I use is 30 pips. The maximum I use 30